How to talk to new people. So I feel like there's a lot of stigma about just being good friends with your neighbor. For whatever reason, we've adopted a society where you can't just go to your neighbor's house and get milk anymore, or go to your neighbor's house and grab a trash bag or a napkin or whatever. A community that loves you and cares for you, how that community should be, you know? We really have adopted a scarcity mindset, a competitive mindset. We compete with our teammates, and it's really a weird time to live in when, especially if you're someone who's empathic and is just filled with love and you just want to be able to experience and have a great time with people. There are little like safe containers nowadays that people make. They make groups and they go on retreats and stuff, and they show themselves like what love and what community really is. And then they go back into the West, and then it's like it's so hard to find that. It's so hard to find that. And I'm saying that because I have been to a couple of those like retreats and groups where you're able to experience like the power that you have when people genuinely support you. But either way, I digress. Just to be able to talk to new people, I say the best way that I found to be able to do so, especially in our society nowadays, is by just lowering my guard as much as I can, and by just meeting people at ground level. Everyone wants to be on a pedestal nowadays. Everyone wants to be holier than thou. Everyone wants to act like they can't talk to their neighbor. And it's like, man, we all have a chink in our eye. And it's like, we should be able to just do this. We should be able to live in a world where the person next to us, maybe we didn't know them yesterday, but if the situation has been brought about that we make friends, it shouldn't be an issue, and we shouldn't feel weird about it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I mean, I've realized that in natural situations, like at the grocery store or something, how I've been able to randomly just start talking to people and actually have a good conversation / experience, maybe even meet them, get their number or something random like that, is just by making the conversation starter be something that's so natural that it's like we're just living life. You know, if someone is next to you at the grocery store and you're picking up apples, I'm not gonna just be like, hey, my name's Ike, and I do this, and I do that. No, like, we're both picking up apples. Like, talk about the apples that we're picking up, you know? Like, I walk over to the apples, and I'm not gonna just formally introduce myself. Maybe I'll say something about the apples. These Honeycrisp apples are like one of my favorite kinds. I love how they always grow them locally, and every time they get there, they're new, they're fresh. You don't always it's not like it's coming from Mexico or something where it would get tarnished like prior to it actually getting to the store. You know, like, that was just as natural and as normal as I would have said it. Like, you heard me stutter, you heard me sound a little funky, but the person next to me, when they hear that, they're not gonna think I want something from them. They're not gonna think I'm trying to incriminate them or like brag to them or do something weird. I'm talking about the apples. So if I say that, and if the person has any genuine and normal ounce in their body, they're gonna just calmly, kindly say their preference of apples or say how they feel about the apples, you know? Like, that was just the conversation start, you know? Just something to casually start the conversation. From there, I mean, like, this is on you to trust in your own creativity and trust in your own ability to just come up with something nice on the fly. Honestly, the more that you can trust in your ability to come up with something, I think it's going to take you a lot farther than you trying to plan out every little sentence and every little last thing that you're going to say. It's more about a trust in your innate ability, your mind, your genuine intuitive mind is able to come up with so much amazingness. And the more that you try to put that in a box, the harder and more rigid it's gonna be, thinking you have to have an exact conversation starter every single time. If I think I need an exact conversation starter, then that means in the present moment, I'm going to be missing out on the blatant cues that are right in front of me, like talking about the apples, you know? So yeah, like, you pull up on that person. I love these apples, man. They're literally made down the street. There's no wear and tear on them, no bruises. Just look at how fresh they are, man. You're just there talking to a random person about apples. And then be like, do you live in the area? I see your shirt. Like, are you a nurse? You know, just something to just casually actually try to communicate with the person and not seem like you're weird or not seem like you're trying to get something from them. Those examples, I mean, they aren't the best. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. I haven't been necessarily teaching the people recently, but I'm really getting back into it. This is my second video in some time, and man, we're gonna really go deep this time. Now, continuing on about how to talk to new people, is a big one for me is lowering my guard. When you lower your guard, it gives people the space where their guard can be lowered too. And and for some people, you're gonna have to lower your guard more than others, because some people might just understand the vibe and some people might really need you to lower the hell out of your guard for them to feel like, okay, this is a safe space for me to be myself now. We live in a space where people incriminate each other. You know, you think you're talking to a friend, and then they go and snitch to your boss and get you fired, or do all kinds of weird things in our day and age. So you have to give people some grace and realize that it's not fully their fault for them being all bottled up and for them being all like a secure and stuff like that. But say I'm going to a business meeting, I'm dressed up all casually, formally, got my suit on, and ideally this is a place where you want to give people the best version of yourself. And some people are going to bring a lot of tension to themselves because they're going to be trying to be like you are trying to be the best version of yourself, which is not going to ever do as much work as you just it's never going to be as good of an experience than if you would to just copy that, guys. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
So
It's at 5 minutes. I'm gonna work up for you.
So since you're trying to be your best version of yourself, it's never going to be you just being, because you just being is really what your best version is. So I'm there with my suit all formally, all casually. The other females are there all formally, all casually. Personally, I'm gonna crack a joke. Like, me personally, I'm the guy that's gonna I'm gonna crack a joke. I'm gonna have a good time in there, because when you're on a pedestal, No one is looking at you from eye level. So if I can't look at you from like at eye level and see the me that's in you and see the you that's in me, if we can't make that happen during the conversation, then no one is going to break out of their shell. No one's gonna trust you. No one's really gonna trust you with a business transaction. No one's really gonna fully feel comfortable talking to you if they can't, to some degree, be themselves. So for me, a term I've learned is learning to be the best low value male. And obviously low value male has the stigma of not being high value or whatever, and you're trying to be your best version. But for me, it's bringing everyone down to base level, because when you're not on base level, you can't communicate well with people. If you're trying to have a higher ground with someone in every single conversation, then the conversations aren't going to go anywhere, because the person isn't going to open up to you and you are just trying to act like you know more than them. You know, like when you have a kid and the parents are always trying to control everything, but yes, congratulations, mom, dad, you have the higher ground on your kid, you have the authority. But when those times get rough for the kid, they're gonna bottle up on you. They're not gonna tell you what's really going on at school. They're not gonna really feel comfortable being their true authentic selves to you, because they're so used to getting shut down by you. And it's the same thing with people in any space, in any field. So that's one tip that I have to say, is to learn to break down the guard. And the way you do that is by being vulnerable yourself. Don't walk up into the conversations like this, you know? Walk up into the conversations like this. It's okay, guys. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ike. I was just at home. I almost forgot to not brush my teeth. I was literally in the car driving here, and then I had to turn around and go back and brush my teeth, use some Listerine, and now we're here. You know, like if you go into that at the business meeting, okay, like people will laugh, people will understand you're just a guy. Okay, so I'm just a guy. Now this is my business. Yes, this is set up. This is my business service. Here's my business card. Here's my website. This is how we get things done here. Like you have to have that ebb and flow. It's not just you're up here and everyone's down here. Come on, man. You gotta come down to the land animals. You gotta dive into the sea with the seals. You gotta fly with the birds. You gotta do everything, man. And that's what I'm trying to express to you guys here today. I hope that makes sense to everyone. It's your boy Ike here, Purified Hustle. I'm going to be continuing the Communications for the Nations playlist. Going to be dropping more videos just like this. Going to be making more videos that are more intensive as far as speech exercises, different exercises that will actually help you improve your speaking ability. So please tap in with me for those, and have a great rest of your day.